You enter the dungeon and see the evil wizard pointing his wand directly at you. He says, "Show me a funny and delightful actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, or I'll consume your souls!" What do?
I take out my phone and find Quest Friends Forever on Spotify.
I show him how to find Quest Friends Forever on Apple Podcasts.
I share the Quest Friends Forever Instagram and YouTube pages with him.
And you all get critical hits!
Yay!
Quest Friends Forever is an actual play podcast starring 4 friends with varying levels of Dungeons & Dragons experience. Join us for new episodes every other Wednesday as we embark on fantasy adventures, play fast and loose with the rules, and laugh at each other's shenanigans. No prior D&D knowledge is required to listen, so everyone can feel free to join the fun. Quest Friends 4, that's the number 4, like how there's 4 of us, ever. Find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. That's Quest Friends Forever.
I don't know.
Me neither. Okay, this is the Lousy Advice Podcast. My name's Eric.
I'm Shelby.
And I'm Jake.
And this week, we have on the podcast Kendra Sheetz of The Bad Copy.
Hi.
Welcome to the Lousy Advice Podcast. How are you, Kendra?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here to talk about music with us.
Yes, on a rambunctious Saturday evening.
On a rambunctious Saturday, I know. It's beautiful down here, so I'm loving the vibes of the sun today. Big sun vibes.
Yeah, rub that in. Thanks.
Do you have the sun where you're at right now?
28 inches of snow outside my house, but that's fine. Don't worry about it.
You know what?
See, no sun.
No sun.
Yeah, no.
I'm so sorry.
Not all of us are in San Diego. I'm pretty sure it's raining in Sacramento, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Oh, well.
It's cold, but it's not raining.
Well, fuck me.
Oh. Well, this week on the Lousy Advice Podcast, this is the Rancid episode. That is the Rancid, the band.
Not the smell.
Not the smell. That is true.
Yeah.
Rancid,
Not
the
the
band.
adjective.
Here, it could be the smell. It might be the smell.
It could be, yeah.
It might be after this list is done. We'll see.
Honestly, and there also is a level of like synergy where it could be both. You know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
there's not a dividing line there. It could be both at any given time. Intersectionality, if you will, of both the smell and the band. Cool. So this is Lousy Advice Podcast. This is a Rancid episode. What is up, Kendra? What's your history with the band Rancid?
Well, I would say that they were probably one of the first punk bands that I got into. I mean, they're kind of in that like grandfather punk band status. Probably not as old as Bad Religion. Maybe a step down from there, but like everyone's kind of been introduced to them. And I feel like everyone knows a little Rancid, a little NoFX, and Bad Religion. You know, some of the greats. So I don't remember exactly how they came on my radar. I know I was in like 7th or 8th grade. So unlike a lot of other kids that were getting into punk music, I didn't have an older brother or sister. So I leached off of my friends' older brothers and sisters, or the public library, which also had lots of CDs. So I know that I got a copy of Life Won't Wait from the South Bend, Indiana Public Library, which I burned onto a CD and then took everywhere in my Discman, and I am old and my body's falling apart. So
If any cops here heard that, no, you didn't.
Yeah. Would you steal a car? Would you steal a house?
Piracy
do
is
you
not a
remember that?
victimless crime.
Do you remember
do.
those commercials?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Why
You
would
wouldn't
you
download a car.
You wouldn't.
Right.
Thank you. Look at me butchering the thing. You wouldn't download a
what
car.
you were going for. I remember.
Okay, cool. Awesome, Jake. What's your history with the band Rancid?
Oh, I feel like it's the same avenue where it's pretty typical because it was kind of, like just one of those bands that was like prominent as far as getting into punk rock, especially at that time, like in the early to mid 2000s, they were kind of, like obviously, and Out Come the Wolves was huge about a decade before that, but like it was around the time that like Indestructible came out, so they were still firing pretty hard as far as putting stuff out and people talking about it and stuff like that. And I feel like it was like a mixed CD type scenario that probably had like Ruby Soho and Red Hot Moon on it or something, like a
punkorama, or just give them the
exactly, yeah, or like I bet you the NoFX Rancid split was pretty early on in my education, even though the Rancid side on that one is pretty bad.
No way.
Oh,
No
yeah.
Effects is terrible, and they made all the No
Oh.
Effects songs so good.
Oh,
We're gonna
this
we're
is
gonna
gonna be a thing.
we're gonna discuss this over the course of the podcast for sure.
Sure.
But yeah, and you know, I just have so many memories of being on the school bus listening to Rancid that it's like a very special thing for me. So, and I wanted to be Tim Armstrong so bad at one point in my life too.
Really?
I wanted
So
to be
badly.
Tim Armstrong so bad.
Didn't we all?
Oh my god.
No.
Oh,
No,
I mean,
but that's cute.
see, I didn't want to necessarily be Tim Armstrong. Low-key, I kind of wanted to be Brody because I thought she was the fucking coolest. But again, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Shelby, what was your history with the band Rancid?
He's like, they're texting me right now.
Yeah.
So what's really fun
I got a
about
text
me?
from Lars.
What's really fun about me is that, like Kendra, I didn't have any older siblings that listened to punk. So I had Travis. Travis canonically hates Rancid. So
Shout
naturally, I based all of my opinions off of that in my early stages. Sometimes big mistake. So I had only ever heard In Out Come the Wolves, and obviously there are some serious hits on that one, but I had never listened to very much after, and I spent all day today at work. No, I didn't, my boss. Listening to every Rancid song on Spotify.
Oh man, that's rough.
It was
lot.
rough. It was rough, Jake. Thank you for that. But there really are some gems in there, so I'm very neutral about this band. My opinions can be swayed. Sway them, Kendra and Jake, because I have a veto.
You're essentially the wild card tonight.
I am essentially, yes, the wild card.
I love it.
Find my list.
I thought I was coming in with 2 vetoes, but I forgot that you played all last episode, and
Yes,
you
I
made me
did.
veto you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was purposeful. That was strategic, if you will.
So my history with Rancid, even though I'm not really playing, I thought I'd just talk because I love talking about myself and my history, and you know, so does everybody else. It's great. So my history with Rancid, I don't know. I mean, it must have been Out Come the Wolves. I think I heard like Ruby Soho and like maybe like Listed MIA, almost anything off of Out Come the Wolves. My brother had the CD, and I heard it. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then that's all I'd heard. And then I got more into Operation Ivy. Then I did Rancid initially, and that was like my band was that. And knowing that history, I was like, that's so cool. Fuck, I'm so sick. Like, I know this. It was kind of that, like, not an, as a 14-year-old kid, it was very much the, oh, well, I listen to Operation Ivy, you listen to Rancid, sort of a thing. It's very silly, very toxic, but obviously, like, you know, we grow.
But like you were cool though.
Oh my god, I was so fucking cool. It's crazy. I had the lyrics to Missionary fucking printed and taped on my wall. It's so stupid. But anyways, Rance is cool. And I listened to them, and I remember. I actually don't remember. That's my history. This is where we get going. So I'm gonna go over the rules.
I wanted to say too.
No.
At the most recent fest, the Problem Daughter Rancid set was my favorite moment. I think of the whole weekend. I had
Yeah.
such a good
Also,
time.
should be noted that our history as triplet, as the three of us, as a trinity.
There it is.
We had a lot of fun at that set, and I didn't even really care about Rancid, and I was in the pit. So
it looked cool.
Let me tell you that when was the last fest? Like 16 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago?
roughly.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Okay. So since then, the Tim Armstrong of the Rancid set, Regan and I are now dating, and it's been a huge issue of contention that apparently I got approved to do the Rancid set because I guess he asked you guys to do the Rancid, and he
You had previously called dibs, I think.
loves Rancid
Yeah.
like as much, or maybe like I can definitely do the one that I did. But really? And I was like, sorry. So like he's also like seen my list and helped me work through it because my list had 47 things on it originally, and I got it down to 11.
Mine had 6.
Damn.
So you know,
Whoa.
we might have worked on this a little bit together.
Yeah.
You're pretty dedicated too.
You know
'cause
what it
shaved
was
his head
was
for that.
he sent us his list and he said No More Black, and I was like, we're doing fucking No More Black.
Yeah.
They're like one of my
Yeah.
favorite bands of all time, so I was like, we're doing No More fucking Black.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I really
I
want
will
to do that.
relay
list.
this to him because way he wants to say it is that he was like, no, we're not going to do Rancid. I guess we can do one of these other ones. So the whole story's been misconstrued to me. Like, I'm the bad guy because I got to choose Rancid.
I mean, there might have been
The thing about these lists is that our guests send us their list, and at the end of the day, we pick what we want.
Yeah, that's true. And I think because None More Black was on the list of bands to choose from, and Jake's history with that band.
And I love that fucking band. We're just like, well, none of these other bands matter.
Because like Rancid is good, and we can obviously do that. But because None More Black was there, it was kind of like, oh, we have to do that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
So Regan, if you're listening, we did not over.
Be listening. It'd be rude if he didn't listen to the podcast I was on. I'll be mad at him. So.
No, he's gonna be on soon, and it's gonna be great. I know nothing about No More Black, so it'll be a treat for me. Oh, hey. Okay, I'm gonna go over. Let me just read this wonderful script that Jake wrote for us many a moon ago. Hello, and welcome to the Lousy Advice Podcast, and welcome to Toon Draft, a game in which members of Lousy Advice and or guests will competitively collaborate to create artist or genre-centric best of lists. I will be your draft commissioner, Eric, and creating tonight's list will be Kendra, Jake, and Shelby. Tonight's topic is Rancid, as we went over just moments ago, as you just heard and are paying close attention to. So this is how the game works, essentially. We're going to be drafting into different positions. I'll go over those positions. So say it's one position. It is. One person will be drafting into positions 11, 10, 6, and 3, which is worst placement, but a lot of picks, and you receive a veto override, in which you can cancel out a veto that's played on a choice that isn't your own. So that being said, if somebody picks a choice, you're like, somebody vetoes it. They say, I don't like that song. If you have the veto override, you can jump in and say, I cancel that veto. I like that song. It stays. So you get to be sort of hero of the day. The second choice is 9, 8, 5, and 2, which is a good amount of choices in the middle of the list. And the third choice is numbers 7, 4, and 1, which is the least amount of choices, but you get the number 1 spot. Each player, hold on. Excuse me, iPad. What is happening? Each player will also be receiving a veto, which they can use to knock the song choice from its current placement on the list, either because you don't think it belongs on the list or you believe it belongs higher up. Whatever the case is, it can no longer be replayed in that spot, and the drafter must choose another song. You can roll over the veto to the next game, but only one, and that is for guests, or that is for returning guests and Lousy Advice. So shout out to us.
Wait, do I have a veto?
Shelby has an extra veto. You didn't use one during the Descendants one.
And I probably won't use one now, Jacob. So
whoa,
you're welcome. I just needed to
what
show.
Was that?
I just needed to
probably
show
use
some
them now,
power.
Jacob.
I don't know. I do enjoy calling you Jacob, though.
I don't like it.
Kendra, do
Your
you
name on Facebook is Jacob. It's fine. We'll move on. I'll call you Jake.
Kendra, do you have any questions so far?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You'll just guide me through it, and I'll mess up, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and throughout the process too, we can get as messy as we need to. And
allow us to be your guide.
Yeah, we'll guide you through. It'll be cute.
Okay.
So in order to figure out who's in what position for the drafting, we do a little bit of trivia off the top. I do want to point out that in this trivia, I'm going to ask a question. The way to buzz in is you say your name. Whoever's name I hear first, I will be biased. I will say whatever I hear. You get the answer. You get to answer. If you get it wrong, we have the Alex Trebek, the Lord Bullington rule, which is only one wrong guess before everyone. Wait, only one wrong guess. Everyone has to guess before you can guess again. And then the Alex Trebek Memorial rule, which is you must finish the question before anyone can answer. So I have to get the whole question out before somebody buzzes in. Yeah, and then you get to pick your spot on the drafting list. Sorry, I had another Diet Pepsi Cherry, so I'm kind of...
so you're flying.
I'm speeding through. Yeah, it's my caffeine. Although I did have like a nice coffee this morning too, and a kombucha. I do this every day. What am I? I'm saying this like it's a new thing. This is my diet. Jesus.
Jesus, indeed.
Jesus. You know what? And that's growth. That's family. Olive
There's
Garden.
no I in Jesus.
There's no I in Jesus. Because we're a team. Okay. Is everybody ready for trivia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to guess.
Okay, let's do it. First question. In the Nickelodeon animated series Cat Dog, the antagonist named Rancid is what kind of animal?
Shelby.
Jake?
Shelby.
Mouse.
That is incorrect.
Wow, I don't remember that show at all.
Is he a rat?
Jake? Wait, is that your answer, Jake?
Yeah.
Do you say rat?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Then what the fuck was that thing?
Too old for this show. I don't even know what this is.
Do you remember,
Animal.
do you remember Cat Dog? It was from like 2001.
It's a treat.
It was
I was like 15 then. I was trying to have sex.
I wasn't watching cartoons. I was trying to have sex. Do you want to guess?
Do I get to guess something random now?
If you want to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, was it a bird?
It was not a bird. Would anybody like to go on a second guess?
Wasn't that the guy that went, yeah, what are you talking about? Like with that bad
He's
accent?
like
Was
a.
the little
It
blue
just
guy?
sounds like Tim Armstrong.
Not the little blue guy?
Yeah.
No, it was the mayor cop host. He was the shitty
Oh, he
guy.
was a cop?
He sucks. He was the antagonist. He was the one who tried to build a freeway over their house.
I don't remember truly.
I thought it was the rat guy that lived in the wall, so I have no idea.
That's
Think
what I thought too.
Alliteration.
Oh, Shelby.
Shelby.
Pig.
No.
Oh, well then, I don't know.
think rancid alliteration. It's close to it sounds like rat but longer.
That doesn't help for some reason.
It's like it's big
Yeah.
it's bigger than a rat but smaller than a dog.
Bigger than a rat, smaller than a dog.
And when you say the word rancid is the first name, the animal is the last name.
Is it a raccoon?
No, but you're close.
Oh, you did get my brainwave, but it was wrong.
Kendra, what do you think? Do you have another guess?
Trying to think of other R animals.
People have them as pets. They are cuddly.
I'm pissed.
And you said alliteration, right?
Yeah. Can I give you another hint?
Yes, of course.
Think bugs.
I do bugs for a living.
Not insects, but the character.
Oh, rabbit.
Rabbit is the answer.
Oh, rabbit.
I was like, cockroach. Like, no
I
way.
know. As soon as in my head I was
I
like,
thought-
"Oh, Bugs is giving it away," and then as soon as you said I do that for a living, I was like, "Wait, no, that was not clear."
No.
I thought
No,
that
it
was
wasn't.
the little like.
No.
I thought he was the little shithead guy that lived in the wall of their
That's what I
house.
thought.
That's what's his name? Kendra, what would you like as far as placements? I'll remind you, it is 11, 10, 6, and 3, 9, 8, 5, and 2, or 7, 4, and 1.
9, 8, 5, and 2.
Perfect.
That's the sweet spot.
9, 8, 5, 2.
Yes, I was just guessing.
Okay, this is for Jake and Shelby. Are you guys ready?
I guess.
Yeah.
How long, typically, does it take milk to become rancid if unrefrigerated?
Shelby.
Shelby,
I'm going to go with like 12 hours.
12 hours?
Mm-hmm.
That is not correct.
Damn.
Jake, I'm gonna say 48 hours.
48 hours is also not correct.
That seems like a long time.
Think way less time.
Oh,
Shelby.
is it like?
Shelby,
4 hours.
that is not correct.
God, fuck.
Jake,
Are we just gonna be guessing numbers? 6
yeah,
hours.
let's do it. Jake,
6,
less. Shelby,
Shelby. 5.
less. Jake,
Less? Ew.
2.
is that your final answer?
Yes.
That's the correct answer.
That's
Okay, I'll
gross.
take
it. 2
Milk
hours.
is gross.
It'll go if it's in room temperature at least for 2 hours. It has the capacity to have spoiled.
That's gross.
That is
Wow.
gross.
I worked in a grocery
Um,
store for 4 years. I should have known that.
Do I want to go? Do I want to put it on Shelby? Is the question.
Yes, you do.
You know what? I'm gonna take 11, 10, 6, and 3.
Fuck yeah.
Perfect. Bada boom.
I'm playing wild today.
I love having the number one spot, especially for bands that I don't like. I'm not passionate about. It usually gets pretty fun for me personally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Okay. Is everyone ready to rage?
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
the official. Ooh, what was that?
It was Rancid.
Rancid. Oh, okay. This is the official canon list of best 11 Rancid songs of all time. We have unfortunately been bestowed with the power to make that decision, along with our guest, the expertise of our guest. And within that power, it cannot be changed. So this is the official list of all time. So Rancid, if you're listening, you're welcome.
And they also better be listening. Not just Regan, but Rancid as
Rancid.
well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
trust
If
me.
they did.
Group,
Yeah.
rate, subscribe, group Venmo.
Group Venmo, send us money.
Lars, Venmo me.
I used to live by you guys in the sunset. Give me money. Damn it. I'm just kidding. But I did. I think I did. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know where they live. I did see Les Fredrickson at a Bulls game one time, and by Bulls I mean the hockey team from San Francisco that was.
Oh, I was like, really?
No, it was Bulls hockey at the Cow Palace because I used to live there. Anyways,
Cow Palace?
Do you remember the Cow? Do you know the Cow Palace?
No.
Do you guys know the Cow Palace?
But I would like to go
I know the
there.
Cow Palace.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, the Cow Palace. That place, which is like, why? You know what I mean?
Makes more sense
Yeah.
than what you were saying.
Okay, this is the Rancid list. We're starting it off with Jake on number 11. Jake, what's your pick?
Lower on my list, I kind of have all the canon picks, right?
Like Cannonballs?
But I feel like the ones that everybody's going to be stoked on. So I feel like it's my responsibility to put what I want on there. And so for number 11, I'm going to play the title track off of their, I think it's 2003 record, Indestructible, the song Indestructible, which opens the record.
Interesting.
I have a hot take. That's a good song.
What's that?
That's a good song.
I think it's a great song.
That is
That's a
a good
great
song.
song.
It's fast. I think lyrically it's pretty good compared to like a lot of what he writes a lot of the time. I used a quote from it as my senior. I used a quote from it as my senior quote.
What was it?
It was through music we can live forever. That was my senior quote. And so yeah, that's what. If anything, that's why I felt like it needed to make the list because it impacted me enough to be like, you know what? Let me memorialize this in a book forever next to my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and out of all the songs, I think that's the only song from this album I have on my list because I think the other ones are kind of cringy now. A lot of them, the ones that I used to like, because they're all about a very specific situation in his life, and it's like, oh, buddy, this does not look good. But yeah, that's my number 11.
Indestructible. Kendra, how do you feel?
What do I say here? No, I picked another one.
Well, so
So if you hate this song, you can be like, Jake, fuck you so much. I veto this. I hate this song because of this reason.
yeah, you get one veto, so you get one chance to do that.
Okay.
So you get one veto, and also if you like it and agree that it should go here, you can talk about how you like it, or you can say like, I don't necessarily agree, but I'm also not going to veto. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do.
I'm very Midwest, so the third option seems the kindest, but also like telling you that I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
So I'll probably always
Yeah.
go that way.
Basically, we just discussed the pick at this point. You know, like
Yeah.
just our feelings on it. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I don't agree with you, but I understand where you're coming from.
We are your rancid therapist.
What I can say is, I agree with what you said about the album as a whole. There are some cringe songs on there for sure about his divorce.
Yeah.
It started off like it was supposed to be kind of like Rancid 2000 Part 2, and some of those songs are still on there, and I think those are probably the better ones. Because like I had a couple of songs on Indestructible on my master list, which didn't make it onto my top 11 list. I actually kicked Fall Back Down off the number 11 spot.
Ooh.
So it fell back down.
It did.
And you
It
didn't
fell
help
right
it back
off,
up again.
Actually. But yeah, I mean, it's I would say given an 11, whatever. I will say also when I got this CD, it was a CD, and I got like a special, like limited edition, whatever the hell it was that came out. And I remember that they took the cover of the album, which is Lars's like shaved head with like his big sausage neck rolls and like his huge like mohawk with like a bunch of palm trees in the background looking down like a street, probably in Campbell because that's all he ever talks about. It's like, so that was the the cover of the album. They made this on this big shirt, right? And they shrink wrapped the back of the CD, so you got a CD, but it was like this fucking thick. And then I opened it up, and I was so excited to get this limited shirt. It was a 2XL. They didn't come in other sizes. Like, why the fuck would you only make an 2XL for your like merch?
Interesting.
When like, I mean,
That's controversial.
It's like
you wanna
leftover
cut
shirts.
I get that most people cut up their stuff, but like a 2XL on me is like a blanket.
Yeah.
And then, but the best part is the shirt is big, but then the cover was only like right here.
Oh
Yeah,
So
it's
you
my.
like
got-
the smallest print size.
Yeah, it was almost like a pocket lapel type,
Oh my
where the
gosh.
rest of the shirt's huge. Oh yeah, it's great. So I turned that into a blanket.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. We'll take Indestructible for 11, I guess.
How do you feel about Indestructible?
I like that song.
Yeah.
That is one of the songs that I actually do like off of that record because, like as I said, I listened to all of the Rancid today. And there's not a whole lot on that
Rancid.
record that really resonated with me. There's really one main record that I'm like, okay, yeah, this has mostly really good songs.
Yeah.
And yeah, shocker. We all know
I'm
we
really
all know what
curious
it
to
is.
see which one it is.
So I'm not gonna say it.
Probably Troublemaker.
Yeah, that one was. That song was on my list, pretty low. So Jake, you kind of nailed it there, for me personally.
You know what I like in that song too? Before we move on to 10, is the man part with the guitar so much. It's so fun.
I like a fun moment.
Yeah, I mean, this song's cool. This album again for me was also. I mean, I'm not playing, so I can't really like whatever.
Tell me.
But this album for me was definitely one of those. This had Fall Back Down on it, right? That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
And like Red Hot. Was this Red Hot Moon also?
Red Hot Moon.
And
as well.
Django.
Introduction of Skinhead Rob to Rancid.
Yeah.
That's what.
It was the introduction of Skinhead Rob to Rancid because he had been in the transplants. And they finally brought him over to the Rancid
like,
side.
yeah.
Right.
His little spiel on Red Hot Moon, which
That whole Hellcat Records history is so funny. And I'm going to say this every time, I feel like. I was really big into Psychobilly, so I was on that side of Hellcat Records for a little bit.
I was into both.
Yeah.
So I see you.
So it was like Distillers, Rancid, Tiger Army, whatever was coming out on Hellcat. I was like, I'll buy that.
I think I had
it, yeah.
I had a Hellcat shirt that I got at Warped Tour that had it had Tim Armstrong, but then it had a Nick from Tiger Army, and then it would have Patricia from
Horror Pops.
from the Horror Pops.
Oh my
I have a
God.
fun
whole
Hellcat fact.
Hellcat lineup.
What's your Hellcat fact?
I once dated a man who wore, maybe it wasn't only Hellcat t-shirts, but it was 99% of the time Hellcat t-shirts.
He was just getting Machete MFG overnight orders every day.
It was embarrassing.
That's,
Do you wanna
I mean, huh?
I was going to say, you want to guess his name?
Tim,
No,
Jeff.
it was a Kyle.
Oh,
Of course it was.
of course it was a Kyle.
Of course
Naturally.
it was a Kyle.
Naturally.
Shelby, do you know, did he have a limited edition 2XL red and indestructible
No,
t-shirt?
because he was a
Because he
poser.
was in the market for one.
I'm just kidding. No, definitely not.
Oh, Hellcat Records, y'all. How fun. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, never mind. That's a whole different thing. Okay. I was so obsessed with Hellcat Records and like that at that time.
It was.
That Necromantics
It was
album,
such
Return
a-
of the Living Dead, was so good. Oh my God. That's
Oh,
a whole
yeah.
thing. Okay.
Hellcat was an easy place to go. It was it's all
was.
incestuous. It was all easily accessible enough to get into all those different types of genres.
Yeah.
And you felt like
Yeah.
everything on there was kind of similar to everything else. So you were gonna like everything. Now they have that Falling in Reverse band, and all the people
And,
look
like,
like they're
yeah.
weird, 2003,
It's
emo swoops, but they're now, and it's confusing because
Yeah.
I'm old and I don't know what's happening.
well. Also, I've tried to take a look at it. Also, it does not. I don't like any of the bands that are on there right now.
So they
I'm
stay
sorry,
cohesive
I
in a
just
way.
described Epitaph. The Epitaph bands now have the swoops.
Oh yeah.
Hellcat, I don't know. I'm too old for that now
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I
That's
don't
a whole-
know
that's
a
a whole deal.
goddamn thing.
so
Isn't
go.
that Alex Jones' band on Hellcat?
wait, what?
Alex Jones.
The Interrupters.
Oh,
Oh.
Calling
Yeah.
Alex
you
Jones
can't
the
say a
Cult-
bland ass name like Alex Jones and expect us to know which one, bro.
I thought
Why'd I
maybe it
say
was
that?
Snips and they auto-tuned it to make songs or something.
no,
and I'm
no.
just like,
Gorgeous.
but no, yes, you're correct. They are very much on Hellcat.
How fun. Hellcat's still going strong on the backs of the
Yeah.
Interrupters. How fun is that? Okay, we're going to lock in Indestructible here at number 11. That's going to scoot us
Okay.
straight over to number 10. Back to Jake. Jake,
Okay.
what's your next pick?
Bless us.
Oh, I'm choosing
Bless.
between two here that I really like that are faster paced songs. But I'm gonna go with one of my favorites that is higher up on this list here from my favorite. This is my favorite Rancid record. Yeah, from Let's Go, which is my favorite Rancid record. It's going to be Sidekick as for my number 10. I feel like it's really indicative of that earlier pre and Out Come the Wolves era. It's almost like a quintessential kind of song, but like in their particular style. You have Matt shredding on the bass the entire time. You've got Tim singing nonsensically and doing doing the quintessential Rancid thing where they name drop locations the entire song. And it's got a nice catchy chorus to it too. That's why I picked it.
I will say one of my favorite things of having lived in San Francisco for 9 years was every time I would do anything for the most part, there would be a Rancid reference, like getting on the 43 bus. I'd be like, oh, for sure. Living out in the sunset, I'd be like, oh, here's all of the avenues they discuss. Like doing almost anything in San Francisco, I'd be like, yeah.
Would you say that it was every avenue and alleyway?
Yes, because that's literally what it's about. It's crazy.
Love it.
And then like the Daly City train. If ever I was getting on board at Daly City, I'd be like, oh, here I am.
Here I am.
Welcome to the party.
I'm Tim Armstrong.
Tim Armstrong, y'all. Give me a whatever. Anyways, that's the whole thing. How do we feel about Sidekick?
Yeah, I give that a double thumbs up because I have some Let's Goes around that number as well, and I had Sidekick on my master list before I reshuffled some things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everything you said about it's correct. It's got that, like, before they figured out exactly what their sound was going to be on Wolves, they were getting there, and I think Let's Go shows that. And it's, you know, it's got a lot of the nonsensical Tim. I mean, Let's Go in general, if you didn't have the lyrics, you just introduced this to someone, like, you could almost give them clips of certain songs, and you wouldn't even know he's singing in English.
Yeah,
that is true.
It's like
especially
baffling.
the second verse of that song. It's like, what are you saying? Like just at the beginning, like you have to like look and be like, oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
The one part where he was like, I'm down on my luck for Tuesday, so hold on side, and you're like, huh?
Amazing.
What did you just say?
Yeah.
Also, Regan's not the only one who can do a Tim Armstrong impression. I'm just not shaving my head for it.
Yeah.
But no, for sure. And that song's really good, even though it's weird as fuck.
That was a solid impression, though.
Oh, that wasn't even the best. I'm not even talking about going over here and then over there. Catch me like 5 drinks in, and I'm like way better, because then I kind of get like a drawl to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that, yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
my biggest gripe with this band.
Is Tim Armstrong's vocals?
Yeah. Yes.
How dare you?
Wow.
No, just kidding.
How dare you? First of all.
First of all, how dare I? How dare you? What accent is this?
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
Timmy.
Dominoes? Domino. Something. What song is that? God damn it.
Let the Dominoes Fall?
Let the Dominoes Fall.
No,
Have
no,
any of you
no,
listened to that
no,
song today?
No.
Because I did.
I have not. I've not listened to that record.
You gotta listen
Oh,
and be
man.
like, what the fuck is this guy? What is he going for here? What is this? But, you know, we stand Rancid.
Yeah.
Last time I saw them was on that tour for that record.
Let the Dominoes Fall?
Yeah.
Did you go to the Regency show?
No, it was in Reno, I think.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I will say, for a person who absolutely doesn't sound like that in regular day life, he's held that accent on stage for like, what has it been? 30 years
Yeah.
without
I
fall.
don't get it.
So like,
Yeah.
is he the best actor of all time? Perhaps.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
mean, his Twilight
Does
Zone,
he have a
his
tile-
Twilight Zone
dialect?
episode begs to differ.
Does he have a dialect coach? We may never know.
We may never know.
We may never know.
Oh. Tim Armstrong.
Oh, you know, I just sent that memory today. This is off topic, but it's a Tim Armstrong memory. I sent that picture of us going to that Home Street Home opening night, right? Okay, which was Fat Mike's musical, and I had seats next to all my friends, and they were like, "Oh, we need to move your seat, like just mine alone." It was really weird. And they moved me to some other section, and I ended up sitting between Tim Armstrong and Eric Melvin from NoFX. It was the weirdest moment of my life where I'm like sitting here watching a musical and next to Tim Armstrong and Eric Melvin. It was bizarre.
Were you
Were they
just like
reaching
shivering?
over you, like tapping each other and being like, "Did you want some popcorn?" and like reaching?
Yeah. They're just like talking over me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Tim's like, "I got juju bees. You want some?" I'm like,
Well,
yes.
it was even more awkward because they make a joke about, because like one of the characters has like the Hellcat guitar, and they make a joke about him stealing the guitar from Tim Armstrong, and so everybody turns and just looks at the section that I'm in. I was like, oh god,
That's
this
so
is
funny.
really weird.
Popcorn, like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
God.
What do you think, Shelby? You gonna leave Sidekick?
I'll leave it.
All right.
I'm gonna be hard pressed to use a veto, guys.
I mean, we'll.
We'll see.
It might get rowdy.
Maybe.
It might. Who
I
knows?
could be convinced
We
to
can
use
hope.
one.
I'm gonna be a catalyst in this.
I've got vetoes to burn.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna lock in number 10, Sidekick on number 10. This scoots us on over to Kendra's first pick. This is pick number 9, Canon
All right.
list.
Number
What do you think?
9. For number 9, I had Dead Bodies off of Rancid 2000. It is a Lars-centric song that's very fast. It isn't probably the best song on 2000 by any means, but I have like some weird tour jokes, like memories with it that made it even more like endearing to me. Like, you know, when you're in the van, you make jokes about shit that nobody would ever else like would find really funny, but at the time you're like cry laughing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like years ago, it was like 2013, I think, I was out with a band and we were driving through Texas for like 97 days. And as Texas
As you
is.
do. Yeah. Naturally.
Yeah. And at one point, I think we were just listening to 2000, like from front to back. And we were like giddy at that point just from exhaustion. And I think someone had came up with the fact that like, because Dead Bodies, the whole song is like really kind of like lyrically, it's very gross. Like he's talking about rot and like just really, you know, kind of disgusting, vile things. And so we're like, Lars Fredriksson, Dead Bodies for Men, reoccurring rotting dreams. Like, so we turned the lyrics into like a male cologne ad. So it became even funnier. So now every time I hear it, which again, not the best song, I just remember like, I just imagine, I think most of my Rancid, like most endearing memories are me coming up with weird backstories or like having jokes with friends or like singing along at a show or something.
Yeah.
But like, I just remember like thinking, you know, Lars with like the huge spikes in his like stripy, like, you know, shortcut pants that go like kind of up to like the mid ankle.
Yeah.
And he's got, you know, some sort of like vest on and he's got Dead Bodies for Men.
He's decked head to toe in the Machete MFG catalog.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's exactly
I'm going to keep referencing this because Machete MFG was such a
holy
moment
shit.
for, I
I
feel like
completely
all of
forgot
us.
about it till you
Remember?
mentioned it. And I was like, whoa.
Machete was like, it was like Angry Young and Poor and Machete if you were online, and then Hot Topic if you were at the mall.
Yeah, if you're in person. Yeah.
Do you remember Machete at all? It was just the place to get cheap band t-shirts.
Is this an older
Yeah.
generation thing?
Maybe.
Because I'm so young.
You're so young, so that's
Thank
true.
you
So
for
you probably
recognizing
missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably. It's not because I wasn't paying attention or uncool.
It was literally.
I wasn't
We're
shopping at
born
Limited
yet.
2.
It was,
you know.
I definitely was not at Claire's. Do not worry. I was at Hot Topic, not Claire's. No, it was just a cheap band shirts that I think Hellcat like put all of their shit on a Machete.
Oh.
Well, who
Yeah,
owned that?
pretty
Was
much,
it Tim? Did Tim
So,
own Machete?
So I know the kid who was running it. He was in a band called the Scuffs out of LA, and I ran into them outside of, Rancid did these nights, Hellcat nights at the Echo, where they were trying to, it was 4 nights, 1 month, and all the tickets were like $7, supposedly, and then everyone bought them, and then they were like $500. But anyway, so it was four Tuesdays in a row. And the whole point was it was going to be new bands coming out on Hellcat because Hellcat had the same old bastards that we were talking about this whole time. And so they're trying to bring in new blood. And I think Orange was one of the bands, never really got anywhere.
Oh, yeah. What about them?
Time Again, which everyone called Tim Again because the guy looked, Daniel
yeah.
Gart looked just like Tim Armstrong.
Yeah, he did,
I actually thought that he was just like a Rancid fan, and I asked him if he was selling tickets outside the venue, and he was like, I'm in one of the bands. And I was like, okay, Tim look-alike motherfucker.
Great.
And then he went to jail for stealing some girl. So, like, good on me for realizing he's a creep.
Stealing a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kidnapped a girl.
What a
Went to jail.
bitch.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Was Nerve Agents on one of those?
I want to say yes, but I think they were already big and were already out on.
Yeah, because that was also the time around,
That would
like,
make
what was
sense,
it? Not the heart attacks? Wait, Static Thought?
It was, if I can give
Left
you
Alone.
time. Left Alone.
Left
For
Alone.
sure, Left Alone.
That's the
Oh,
one
yeah.
that I was thinking of.
Yeah, for sure.
What a weird
Also,
time.
Big Rancid folk.
Yeah.
It's all just bands that kind of sound like Rancid, but like
Yeah.
that's like
but
what they
aren't-
went for. Like when they couldn't get their friends bands of their same age to like be on Hellcat, they're like, who sounds like us but a little bit different? You. Okay, Hellcat Nights of the Echo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I came out of one of these nights and I ran into this band. They were like peddling their shit, and it turned out to be this band called the Scuffs. And one of the main guys, I guess, ran Machete. And the other ones are all people that I still know from LA.
Oh, no shit.
All in different bands. No longer part of this whole thing anymore. Just
Yeah.
that one guy.
That's so funny. Anyways, Machete MFG. It was a whole deal. How do you guys feel about Dead Bodies?
I feel very good about Dead Bodies.
Nice. Jake, how do you feel about Dead Bodies?
So when I was trying to think of which was my favorite Rancid record, it was between 2000 and Let's Go. So it's going to be hard for me to veto anything off of either of those records, especially 2000, because I think it's really underrated as far as their catalog goes. So yeah, I'm totally fine with leaving it there.
Okay.
Just telling the listeners, I'm like shaking, nodding like super hard to the point of almost hurting my neck. I'm like so on board with what you're saying.
Her head is gonna fall off her body like a Diva Stars doll.
Like a Diva Stars?
Do you remember those?
No.
They had big ass heads.
They were like brats?
Yeah, they were like brats, but with big ass heads.
I love it. Diva Stars.
Loved them.
I also love, and I can't believe I'm bringing Necromantics up twice in this. The Dead Bodies cover, Necromantics cover, Dead Bodies. It's a very good cover. I'm just saying. I really love that cover. Okay, we're going to lock that in. Dead Bodies at number 9. Kendra.
You get it. You like Psychobilly, bud.
I know, and I never talk about it. I talk about it all the time with you guys, but in real life.
I'll be happy to come back for a Psychobilly band podcast.
I mean,
yeah.
That whole history of my life is so strange. That was my adolescence. That was my teenage years. That was my early 20s. That was it. It was Psychobilly all the way.
What did your hair look like?
I was always either a flat top or a comb over. I could never do the full pomp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the V bangs for a while. That looked like shit.
Ooh, I was gonna say, I bet you looked hot.
Ooh, those were fucking cool though.
They did not look good.
I met my wife at a Psychobilly show, so she had those bangs.
You told me that. I remember. You told me at Fest.
And I bet she looked
Jello.
hot too.
What show was it again?
It was at Coffin Cats.
Oh, that's right, Coffee Cats. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at us. We could go off on a tangent. I'm so excited. You know what? I want to do that at one point. Okay, we're going to lock that in. We're going to scoot back over to Kendra. Number 8. What is your pick?
I'm safe from Jake because I put another Let's Go on here. Number 8, I have Dope Sick Girl.
Ooh.
That's a good song.
There's a few on Let's Go that I feel are kind of like musically similar, where they just start out and they just don't stop until you get to the end of it. And again, it's got that kind of Tim Warbly like bullshittery where like either you love it or you hate it, but you don't know what the fuck he's talking about until you get to the chorus and like Lars kind of comes in to help out and sings along and you're like, oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. And I feel like this is one of those. Oh God, this is going to sound like I'm such an asshole. But like Rancid, like they straight up sing about some like, you know, some serious shit. Obviously, this song is about a girl, as they say at the beginning, who ripped him off because she was dope sick. That's not a funny thing to be talking about. But is this song funny? Yeah, if you listen to it, because you don't know what the fuck he's saying sometimes. And sometimes the stuff he says sounds like other stuff. And, like, it's just a really upbeat, like, positive song for being so fucking detrimental. And that's one of the things I think they can do really positively. Like, it's really hard to be super sad lyrically when you have, like, half a ska band in the background.
Yeah.
This is really fun for me because I do like that song. That song was also on my list, which is a very big shocker for somebody like me. I know. But the reason I put it on my list is because I thought it was funny. So awkward.
I mean,
but you know what? Somehow we all made it here, didn't we?
That's not far off though. It has silly.
And it was for all the reasons Kendra said.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's like the whole deal with them, because like you were saying about the lyrics, it can be like so detrimental, so heavy, so intense, but then it's like this really solid pop ska song, and you're like, oh, okay.
I don't even really like ska like that.
Well, not to throw it back too far to like another complete album, but on Indestructible, there's a song called Stand Your Ground. And I was listening to that album again today, and I was like, wow, that's really relative to like today's society, and oh my God. But they're singing about like how people can't get by and they can't make enough money to pay for food, and they're ending up homeless. But in the background, they're like, you're like in the car dancing, and you're like, stand your ground. Like, this is not a thing I should be doing. Fuck me. But like, you can't not do it.
Yeah.
Rancid.
Oh my gosh. Jake, how do you feel about Dope Sick Girl?
Oh, it's a great song. I can't veto it. Like I said, it's on Let's Go, and it's definitely. There are a couple of songs on that record that I would veto. Actually, not thinking about it, but that's definitely not one of them. I feel like it's almost like we did Descendants last week, and I was talking about how I wanted to play Bikeage, and I feel like this is the mature version of Bikeage, like this song. Like where it's like almost it's like a similar subject matter, but tackled in a way more mature, less incel way than Bikeage is. Yeah. I'm totally fine with it there.
You leave it, Shelby. You're leaving it.
Mm-hmm.
We're locking it in. Number 8. That brings us to Shelby. Number 7.
So I'm prefacing this with, I'm not explaining any of my answers.
Okay.
I don't have a deep, meaningful reason for any of my choices. I listened, I liked it, I put it on my list. And in this spot, I put Olympia, Washington. Olympia Wah.
Ooh.
Olympia Wah.
But
I will not be explaining. I listened to it. I liked it. I put a ring on it. Because if you like it, then you should put a ring on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
How do you guys feel
How do
about
we feel?
Olympia Wah?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, it's really hard to say no to anything on Wolves, like especially the first like half. If you
Yeah.
say no, you're a dick because you're wrong.
Yeah. It is. I feel like for not even just for the scene, just for like punk in general, Out Come the Wolves is definitely one of those like apex records for so many people. It's kind of like the shining achievement of this band.
and
Yeah.
I should say that in this spot, it was almost Fall Back Down. So,
I mean, it's a good song. If you were playing
That-
Tony Hawk at the
that-
time, that
that-
song
that
was one of the
definitely
ones
would've
that
been-
stuck in.
it would have
That
been
would have
vetoed,
been a
huh?
veto out of me
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
would have been a hard
I would have
veto.
vetoed Fall Back Down for sure.
Come on,
I had a
Jake.
feeling.
Haven't you seen the music video with Kelly Osbourne and the guys from Good
Yeah.
Charlotte?
Yeah.
See, and I
That's
also
great.
really love that for them.
All right.
I also
I was
love
thinking
that.
about this. I was thinking about this when I was driving today because I was listening to Indestructible and like getting my list together. Definitely not writing while I was in the car driving. But if the music video from Fall Back Down had the guys from Good Charlotte
Yeah.
and they are married to Nicole Richie and who's the one from the Goop? Gwyneth Paltrow, right? Isn't she
He's
married?
not. No, she's married to, or she was married to Coldplay
Oh,
guy.
who's the other one then? Oh no, the one from Something About Mary.
Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Cameron Diaz. There we go. They're like the same. They're blonde. I can say that being a blonde sometimes. So Cameron Diaz and Nicole Richie were married to the guys from Good Charlotte, which means that if those people were actually friends with Rancid, Tim Armstrong's hung out with Cameron Diaz, and that's fucking mind blowing
Isn't that
to
crazy?
me.
That's crazy.
Just like
Yeah.
what if
That's
what
pretty
if he
wild.
went
So
up there
insane.
and like got introduced and she's like, I love your movies, and she was like, I love your band, I guess.
Well,
and like
that's-
then she like listened to Rancid one day.
To me, that's like the most LA bullshit I've ever seen. I remember
Yeah.
watching that video as a
Oh,
kid and being
totally.
like, at the time, being like, this is fake and bad. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, oh, this is all just pop music. Like, there's no real derivative. It's like, I mean, Tim Armstrong won a Grammy for that Pink record, which is like, I mean, it's a sick ass song, and sure, it's a great pop song, but like, it's all pop music. Rancid is
Yeah.
pop music. You know what I mean? I don't mean that in a slight because I love pop music.
No, it's formulaic.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Anyways, shout out to Tim Armstrong for winning a fucking Grammy for Trouble.
Let's get into this. Olympia Washington is a great song. I'm not going to veto it, but the NoFX version of the song is like a million times better.
I will never
Let's
say
say it.
that
I'm just
about
gonna say
any
a
song
fact.
ever. Sorry.
I'm just going to lay out. Well, you can be
We're
wrong.
just gonna talk
It's
about how
fine.
NoFX is like one of the worst bands of all time.
I was literally just
can.
thinking the same
Oh
thing.
man, I just that version of this song is like so much better than the Rancid
I
one.
don't agree
I don't agree
at
either.
all.
I didn't listen to it, but I still don't agree. And that's and you know what that is? That's called ignorance.
That's called willful ignorance.
That's called the opposite of growth.
Exactly.
If we're talking about the split, I will never ever believe that NoFX did a better job on any of those songs than Rancid did, for a number of reasons, and not just because I hate NoFX.
I knew you were
think-
my soul sister.
I mean, I hated them before hating them was cool. Like
I
just
also did
never,
that
they, like,
too.
I feel like, and this is not true for everyone, but there are definitely a number of people I've talked to that like it was almost like a split. Like NoFX and Rancid, they're friends. They're about the same age. They came out at the same time, and some people went one way, some people went the other, and some people grabbed them both and ran with it. I took one and I went that way. My choice, and history has proven that perhaps I've made a correct decision. My team has not made comments in Las Vegas about shootings in Las
my
Vegas.
God. Fat Mike
Yeah.
is such a...
My team hasn't made comments saying that their entire life is over because they're allergic to latex. Aww. But that's besides the point. They're not as good of a band. That's the main point.
Jake, your rebuttal.
I was just saying, I think it's one of Fat Mike's better vocal performances. I feel like I was saying, I feel like it's before he stopped giving a shit about trying to sing.
Okay.
I like giving it the like double time because they like play it in double time instead of the like slower Rancid vibe.
Yeah.
I just think it's like weird because it's like a more uplifting, fun version of it almost because it's like fast and kind of you're like, yeah, like let's dance or whatever. But like it's still on my list. It was number 11, the Rancid version. So
Okay. So are we cool to lock that song in?
I chose it, so I choose yes.
Kendra, how do you feel about
Yeah.
it? You're good with it?
As long as it's not the no effects version.
All right. All right. Olympia, Wah Olympia, and number 7 locked. That, you know what that does? That scoots us over to number 6. And you know what's on number 6?
Who's number 6?
Jake.
Jake.
Ooh, okay. I could play so I've only got 2 picks left.
That is true. These are
And
facts.
so I might play my 2 and my 1 here, my 2 here and my number 1 here because I really want to get them on the list. And I feel like they're not canon picks that most people would pick. So I'm going to go with number 6, my favorite song off of And Out Come the Wolves. The last song, The Way I Feel.
Veto.
Whoa.
No. Jake,
Okay.
trust me.
Okay. That's fine.
Veto.
Okay. So I'll pick
I will
a
not
different
be
one.
explaining.
I'll pick a different one.
Wow.
I'll pick my second favorite song off of Rancid 2000, and it's going to be Poison.
Ooh.
I would have loved if Kendra just said veto.
No, that song's so good.
Yeah. It's the thing that I like about Rancid 2000 is because it's so like their earlier stuff was kind of fast and aggressive, but not in the same way that Rancid 2000 ended up being. And it's so interesting that they do this kind of like the first 2 records have kind of like a street punky, aggressive kind of vibe almost. And then they do an Out Come the Wolves, which is like total, punk, pop, ska thing. And then they do Life Won't Wait, which is definitely much more in the ska direction. Like even though they have the like more like aggressive like Lars songs on there, but then for some reason for like 2000 they're like, let's do this like really weird almost hardcore record, and I think it's an interesting choice. And that song I think is like really emblematic of the stuff that are on that the type of songs on that record.
I agree with you in what you said about that record, and I thought listening back, because it wasn't a record I had ever given a chance, but listening back today, I was like very pleasantly surprised by how much I liked it. I don't think that anything really made it to my list, but I agree with your sentiment, and I think that that's a good place for that.
Kendra, how do you feel about that song?
Yeah, for sure. It was on my list, but then it was in a spot that went away. So I'm happy that it's made the list.
Yeah.
It deserves it.
I don't think I know this song. Poison?
Some people are Poison.
I don't think I know it.
And then it goes Poison in the background.
Let me see. I don't need to do this right now. Are we locking Poison in at number 7
We're
or
locking
6?
it in.
6.
How do we feel? We feel good about it?
I feel good about it.
Consider it locked. It's locked in. That scoots us over to Kendra. Kendra, number 5 is your pick.
Okay. I am going to go with a song off of Life Won't Wait, Cocktails. It starts off with a harmonica, which is a weird thing that does not normally exist in a Rancid song. Shelby, do you have something to say? I'm scared you're going to yell veto at me.
So
You're getting close.
No, so that song is so fucking fun.
Okay,
It didn't make it to my
Yay!
list. It didn't make it to my list at
Anti-veto.
all by any means, but I think that that is a very fun song, and I think that that helps me know you a little bit better, Kendra. In a musical brain sense. I don't know. I think it's fun. I'll leave it. I got 2 vetoes, but I'm not going to burn it.
Yay.
You already burned 1 veto. You don't have to.
Oh no,
I hate
Jake.
I hate this record a lot.
That tracks.
Why?
I
Why
just
do you
like
hate
think
fun?
it's such a
Why do you hate fun?
after the I'm trying to think of a good analogy here. It's such a flaccid record.
Flaccid?
Really? I think that record is very
Flaccid.
fun. It is I think it is very fun.
Do you just hate keyboards? Is that what it is? You don't like
I
dancing?
definitely-
Or
I definitely
like the town from Footloose.
yeah, I definitely am opposed to the vibe of the record. And so I'm gonna veto it.
Whoa.
Wow, plot twist. It was Jake.
Sorry. I
Cocktails
just
has
don't
been
like that.
clocked. Cocktails clocked out.
Oh, that's such a fun spot. It's such a fun song.
It's okay, Shelby. We'll listen to it loudly later together at some point when COVID's not here.
Hey, remember how I was gonna visit you summer of 2020?
No, I don't remember anything past like 2019 December.
Sad.
I still feel like it's like probably April of
Yeah.
2020. Tiger King just came out and I got a stimulus check and things were okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me pick another fucking song. Number 5, huh? All right, Jake.
Sorry.
Let's send one off of Rancid, self-titled from '93. Oh, real fast. Let me tell you guys a difference in case you don't know. There's Rancid 2000, and then there's the original first Rancid self-titled that came out in 1993. And I don't know. There's 2 brothers down in LA that I love very much, Joe and Colin Dana. And I don't know if you guys know them or not. They go to punk rock bowling a ton. They're always in shows in LA. They've hung out at PLHS before. But we always do Rancid impressions and like just, I don't know, make dumb jokes about Rancid as you do. And Joe, I think it was, taught me the difference between the 2 albums. It's not called Rancid 2000 or Rancid 1993 or self-titled or however you want to call it. It's you go based on the album art. So 2000 is just a skull, and then 93 is a gun. So you got Rancid skull or Rancid gun. So that's how you differentiate between the 2. Which is your favorite? I like Rancid skull. What do you like?
Yeah.
Rancid gun? Okay.
Jake, what do
So
you like?
we're gonna take one off of Rancid gun. And I'm gonna go with, I think, the only single off of that album, which is Rats in the Hallway. So 93 was pre-Lars. It was just the 3. And as we kind of talked about before with some of their prior albums before Wolves, they're trying to figure out their sound. Here, this is right off of Op ID, so they're kind of leeching a little bit off of their old stuff, trying to get a little bit more punk and a little bit less ska. Rats in the Hallway is just, it opens up and it's just like this most chaotic sounding like intro to any song. It's super fast and it doesn't stop from start to finish. And again, you've got that typical Tim, like, what the fuckery are you saying? But I feel like he does a pretty good job at some of the like faster parts. He like at that point wasn't quite, he was still kind of like partially lint, you know, from Op Ivy, where he just like kind of made sound still.
Yeah.
And then he's moving into Tim, so he wasn't fully engulfed into Tim. Yeah. Now I'm scared. Do you have a second veto? Why are you looking at me like that?
My eye hurts. I'm just thinking about the
Oh no, I was
mascara in
looking
my
at
eye.
Jake. He was doing
Oh
like,
no, I don't have a second veto.
Scary eyes.
Yeah.
It's just me. I'm the one with the power this
Because
episode.
Shelby forced me to use one last game.
Sometimes,
Forced
sometimes you gotta do it to him.
Yeah.
Look, if we're drafting Descendants, I'm dumb. I'm putting all on it. I'm doing it. Because it's so stupid, and I love that, and I want to do that one day.
As a song on a record?
Yeah, I just
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's so stupid.
It's very silly.
But anyway, cool.
How do we feel about Rats in the Hallway?
Yeah, I think this is a much better pick than the others.
Flaccid.
Wow.
Disagree, but by all means.
I like Rancid Gun.
Yeah, Rancid Gun is a good one. I also enjoyed
Yeah.
Rancid Skull.
Yeah.
That is so
I
wild.
was close to putting Hyena on my list, but I didn't.
It's a very good song.
Hyena. Okay, well, I guess we'll lock in Rats in the Hallway at number 5. Let me do a little recap, and then we'll scoot on to number 4. So far, we got 11 is Indestructible. Number 10 is Sidekick. Number 9 is Dead Bodies. Number 8 is Dope Sick Girl. Number 7 is Olympia Wah. Number 6 is Poison. Number 5 is Rats in the Hallway. And now we're at number 4, which is Shelby's pick.
I just need everybody to be ready to give me a round of applause. My choice is Cocktails.
Oh! Yes! Yes!
Because I think it's very fun.
Chaos. I love this.
I think it's very fun, and it didn't end up on my final list, to be honest with you all.
This is the danger.
So it didn't end up on my final list, but I was really thinking about it when Kendra was talking about it, and I was like, you know what? It is a very fun song, and I want to shake my little butt to it every time I hear it, and I think that constitutes a good song. So I have said it. Nobody can stop me, actually, so that's fun.
Nothing for me. You know I'm all in.
And this wasn't necessarily directly to spite you, Jake.
But
I
there
don't believe
kind
that.
of was,
I know,
so.
and I know
don't
that you're
believe that.
probably never going to. But I really do think it's a fun song, and I think it deserves to be on this list. So, unfortunately, I had to do it to him.
In a spot better than the one I was going to put it in.
Yeah, one higher.
Just by one.
Cocktails. This is not the list I was expecting, y'all.
What
Yeah.
did you want? Like everything off Wolves?
I mean, that's what my list is.
It's not what I would
but-
want, but what I expected. Not to say that that's what I expected, but I expected more wolves for sure.
Gotta give
Yeah.
you those sweet B-sides.
I know. See,
And
when
you know what that is? That's entertainment.
that is an.
Sad Girls Club almost covered that
we
song.
almost did cover that song. That is true. When
Wait, you guys almost covered a Rancid song?
yeah,
For like some comp, and then it
The
didn't work
same
out.
one? The same one that we were on?
yeah.
Yeah.
We're locking Cocktails in at number 4. That means we're scooting to top 3. As Jake would say, we're running out of runway, out of tarmac. And this is Jake's pick. Jake, what's your number 3 pick?
Okay, I'm playing my number 1 song. My favorite Rancid song.
Drop it. Drop the link.
It's off of Rancid Skull. And it is the final track on that record, GGF, a.k.a. Golden Gate Fields. It is a strange song because it is like this like really long epic of a song because like at the end there's this like really weirdly long instrumental jam part while like Tim makes noises over it, and it's absolutely phenomenal, and I love it. Like the guitar work at the end combined with like everything, it just I just absolutely adore this song. Even if lyrically it's not very strong, but it does do the quintessential Rancid thing of name dropping locations and places, so
Yeah.
at least got that going for it. But yeah, I think for me, just I think this, as far as all around, is probably the best instrumentation from them. It's obviously not probably Matt Freeman's best instrumentation, but everybody else I think is really killing it on this one.
Because Matt Freeman's far and above the musician of that band.
Yeah. It's not even comparable.
It's crazy.
to
His bass
anything.
lines are
It's
bonkers.
so crazy to listen to.
I know. I don't know this song at all.
So I
Really?
canonically don't care about this song at all. But I'm gonna for sure leave it there because I cannot veto Jake's number 1 after doing what I just did ever. I can't do
Yeah.
that. So
It's like 5 minutes long, this song.
Is it?
It's really long, yeah.
That's very
interesting.
long.
Kendra, how do you feel about this song?
I think Jake pretty much spoke to it. It's a weird song to be at the end of this album for sure, because it feels like it might fit better on some of the prior albums, because it doesn't have the same kind of like Rancid Skull 2000 is very political based, and that was kind of what they were going for. It talks a lot about different states of the world at the time. They're talking about Rwanda. They talk about, I don't know, a number of different things, some stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with current day politics in 2000 current day. But this one just kind of, it's very Rancid-y. He kind of rambles off. He runs into his friend Big Al. He's not doing so well. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he's over here. You can almost like feel like, I don't know if you guys have seen the video for Salvation, which is a way earlier in time Rancid video. But like it's Tim on this baby ass fucking bike where he's kind of like toddling, like he has to like walk it. And he can't like bike it because it's too small. So in my head, again, because I keep imagining, Rancid's very visual for me, mostly because I think they just describe everything and all the streets and the buses and everything else, so I can really get like a good picture as like a writer. I'm like, okay, I got this. But I imagine him like walking next to this dude like on that bike, and he's like meeting up with his friend Big Al. It's very visual.
Have you ever
but I also
seen
checked-
that Larry's Dead short film?
No.
that he made? Like, that he does
Wait,
like that?
I have. Yeah, I have.
I just
It's been a very
envision
long
that.
time. But yes. But also a long, long time ago, I actually looked up, and I don't know why or what I was doing or whatever, why I had access to the internet at this age, because it must have been a while ago. But I looked up like Big Al in like San Francisco, like just to see. And it is definitely like a in the red light district. Like it was or is currently like some sort of store / like movie theater or something.
What? Really?
It was like there used to be a big sign. I saw a photo of it online, and it was I can't remember it exactly, but it's definitely a guy, and it said Big Al's, I think, underneath it. If you find it, let me know.
over in North Beach, like Little Italy.
Is that
Is
right?
it still there? Is it still there?
Wow.
I think the sign is still there, but it says it's permanently closed.
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
sign. Sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I know that
I was,
spot.
like,
I mean, I've
wondering
not-
if he was like meeting up there, or he actually had a guy named Big Al. I
Yeah.
don't know. But also, I think Jake was right when they have this like long musical outro. It's interesting because it's all about supposedly Golden Gate Fields, like the horse track, and the music, specifically the guitar, kind of does this like riding kind of sound to it. It does these like weird waves where it's like a tweedly sound. It's like tweedly.
Yeah, it's like
just, like, yeah, it almost
ding, ding,
feels
ding, ding.
like,
It's like
a
yeah.
Rocket
Robin out here. Shit.
But yeah, so I'm good with it.
Cool. I'm cool with logging it in. I'll have to go listen to it after this. That's the official number 3 pick.
Would you say that store was gone like a flash?
I would.
I would say like a flash.
I guess it. I mean, officially, Big Al's not doing too well because it's closed.
No, he's not doing so well.
He's not doing too well. It's officially closed. All right, we're gonna lock that in at number 3. Number 2, Kendra, this is your last pick.
All right.
This is the number 2 best song by Rancid.
Yes. Crap. Should I pick 2 or my number 1?
Lady,
What do I want
make it
to put
work.
on there? Who has number 1? Shelby?
I have number 1.
Yes, Shelby has number 1. I think I know what she's gonna play. Is the issue? I know exactly what she's gonna play.
Yeah, you do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Which like top 3 off Wolves is it gonna be?
None of them. None of the top 3.
I'm playing Django.
I'd say go with your heart.
Funny story about Django off of that song, or off of what was that, Indestructible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when that came out, I was in college, and I remember partying at my friend's house, and there was a guy, like we were like, at that time, 19, 20, just turned 21, like, so we were kind of figuring out how to do our shit. Like, no one knew. We're like, let's drink a gallon of Captain Morgan, like idiots. And, and so we would get like, like falling down on the ground, blackout, drunk, wasted. And there was a guy who used to hang out there at my friend's house every once in a while, but he'd only show up late enough where like none of us remembered like when he showed up, but he always would just be there. And he called himself Django. And I remember one night specifically like doing the koala thing on his leg and going, "You drag your coffin around, you drag your coffin around." I was talking about, but I was just really drunk, and like I probably sounded really much like a whole lot like Tim, but like no one was there besides that guy to like witness what was going on. He's like, "Get this weird bitch off me."
I want to hear that guy's recount of that memory.
Also,
I would love to hear that. Yeah.
Low key, was that a ghost?
What?
That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Do you think it was a ghost?
Never know.
If he was calling him,
was a hallucination.
Yeah.
If he was calling himself Django, he would get the reference at least. He would get the coffin reference. He would assume.
I started. I was like, "Oh, Django." And he's like, "Not like that." And I was like, "You drag your coffin around." And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "I don't know what you know. I know something else that I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm stupid and I like music that I don't understand."
Because
Punk rock,
that's bizarre. That's bizarre.
Yeah,
I can't think of any other reason why you would call yourself Django unless you like the movie or the song. And it's the same thing.
He didn't want to be Ted anymore. He wanted a cool name. He probably took
He
some
wanted
out
to
of
be
a hat,
Django.
and that's what he ended up with. Fucking Ted.
It's mysterious.
I probably scared the shit out of that guy. Django, if you're listening, I'm really sorry for my behavior when I was 19. If you ever want to like go get drinks, no, just kidding. All right.
Oh my god.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with what was my number 1 because I want to make sure it might get on there unless somebody yells at me. And it's Antennas off of Rancid Skull 2000.
Skull.
That one. What did you do? I missed it. I was looking down. What did you do, Jake?
Go ahead.
What is this? Were you going yay or were you going like no?
I was going yay.
Okay.
I like how every guest that comes on, they're just like, I need to know if you fucking hate me. Do you hate me? Spit in my face if you hate me. Because we're just fucking assholes, I think, probably.
Please, there's your whole like group thing already. So I'm like, hi, I'm new. Please don't yell at me. Song that I do not like.
So
I love
yeah,
it.
this was.
I don't know you so well.
You're doing great, Kendra.
This song was number 4, so I love this song.
Yeah, I think it's great. When I was telling Regan my list, I only had one because I was like, fuck, I have to order them. I got it down from 47 down to 11, and now I have to put them in order. And so I wrote like the numbers out, and the only one I could fill out with like without any hesitation was this one as my number 1 song, which is now number 2 because gotta get it on there. But it's similar to Poison. It's off 2000. It's fast. It's not like overly aggressive because it's more of a Tim song, but it does have that bit of aggression to it, but with a lot of melody. And I remember very specifically, because again, every Rancid song I love has some sort of weird memory attached to it. My friend bought me 2000, the CD for my birthday. And I remember listening to it in my computer, in my room at my mom's house when I was a baby. And I remember at the end of it, he goes, "Let California fall in the fucking ocean," like really aggressively over and over again.
Over and over
And my
again,
mom
yeah.
walked in and she goes, "Oh, that's nice. That's nice." And then she walked out and closed the door. I'm like, "That's right, Mom. I'm punk rock now."
The Midwest in you is so strong.
13 or whatever it was.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. Oh, that's nice. Nice. Great. Great language. Not wonderful. Poor Midwestern mom.
I feel like my mom would agree with that sentiment.
California fall in the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Jake,
Aw.
what were you gonna say?
Oh, I love this song. This song is fantastic. And it is that ending that makes the song for me, where he just screams the California fall in the fucking ocean over and over and over again. It's great. And it's got the cool, weird chorus where it's like everything drops out except for the guitar and Tim singing, which I think is a really interesting choice to do it twice in a song that's less than 2 minutes long. It's a really interesting choice. So, yeah, it's good.
It's going to be
The
a thumbs
NoFX
up
version
for
is
me.
not as good.
Gonna be a thumbs up from you.
It's going to be a thumbs up for me.
So we're all feeling good about Antennas?
Yes.
Let's lock it in. Number 2. Shelby. This is it.
So big shocker, but every time I have a number 1 song, someone else puts it somewhere else on the list. So I have to fucking
always me.
veto them, and it's always Jake because there's always a little bit of synergy to what we like.
Is that so is what you're saying the way you feel?
Yes, it's the way I feel. That song, the da-na-na-na. Oh my God, it's so good. It is the best Rancid song. Arguably, people are gonna listen to this list and be like, "This is wrong." But if you feel like that, why don't you go listen to Spotify because it lists it there for you the way you want to hear it. So
Yeah. Ooh.
the song is The Way I Feel, and that's the way I feel. I'm very confident.
It's a good song. The Way I Feel is a fantastic song.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that none of the standards, a lot of the standards did not make
Don't
this
get it
list.
twisted. Most of my list was the
We got
standard.
Olympia, Washington.
We did,
Yeah.
but
We did.
but it's like that's it.
Yeah, there's some songs that probably should be on this list, but you know what? We're making this list. So,
Oh,
I mean,
Jake.
how many times can you hear someone sing Ruby Soho?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this was my number 2, so I'm totally happy with it for it to be number 1. This is my favorite song off of Wolves. It is just it's like Golden Gate Fields. It's an epic of a song.
Yeah.
There's just like so many layers to the instrumentation, the vocals, the harmonies, the backups, like just everything. To borrow a phrase from last week's episode, everybody's firing on all cylinders here for this song, and it is just top notch. And I feel like this song does not get the love that it needs.
And
too.
it doesn't
Yeah.
because of all of the heavy hitters that are on that record that everybody knows and loves, you know?
Yeah.
But this really is a standout song. If you listen to that record cover to cover, you get to the last song and you're like, this feels like it should close out a record, and it also is the one that matters to me.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a fantastic song. I forget about this song regularly. If ever I'm revisiting this album, whenever it comes on, I'm like, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about this one. I say it like that every time, too. Kendra, how do you feel?
Yeah, I'm on board for sure. I feel like the second half of Wolves, like, while everyone loves the album in full, the first half, like, is just, I mean, stacked. And so I feel like people kind of drop off after, you know, maybe 6-8 songs in. And so the other half of it doesn't really get as much coverage as it deserves. And I think there's some really great songs, and this is one of them for sure. And it really does have that closing end of the album feel, like almost like a good book when you get to the end of it and you close the book and you're like, hell yeah, like you're sad it's over, but you're happy you got there and you feel accomplished. It kind of gives you that same feeling
for sure.
when you get to the end of it. And then you're like, I could listen to it again, or I could listen to Troublemaker, which I heard is a wonderful Rancid album.
Is that the latest one?
I don't even remember
So,
anymore.
somebody-
I've ignored the last
Somebody
few.
said "Let the Dominoes Fall" earlier, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that just came out. That came
Yeah,
out.
no, that's over a decade.
That's 12 years ago. That's insane."
Could I, since we've gone through the list of all the best, could I bring up what is the #1 worst Rancid song of all time?
Oh, I love it. Please
absolutely.
We'd love to hear it.
I believe. Let me double check this. I don't want to get this wrong. I believe that it's off "Let the Dominoes Fall" because I don't know
It
the other
probably
ones
is.
because there could be worse ones. I stopped at "Let the Dominoes Fall" because it sucked.
Yeah.
Oh no. Maybe it's further. No, it's "Let the Dominoes Fall," which came out in 2009 because I have it here on my computer. It is song number 12. It's called "L.A. River," and it might be the worst fucking song I've ever heard because I don't know if you guys get this, but you get that kind of like offhanded, like non-direct embarrassment where you're embarrassed for somebody else when you see something.
Oh yeah.
And this chorus
Secondhand
goes boom
embarrassment.
shakalaka boom shakalaka boom,
Yeah.
and it is the most
It's
fucking
so bad.
embarrassing thing that any band has ever written in the history of anything. And it is probably the worst Rancid song, and it's a Matt Freeman song, of
Do
course.
you think that the acoustic
Yeah.
version's worse?
Hmm?
Do you think that the acoustic version is worse?
Oh, I couldn't imagine it's better.
I'm listening, and I would second that notion.
But, like, this song even making it on here was like, who the fuck is in control of this thing?
Yeah.
This album has 19 songs on it. You couldn't cut this motherfucker?
Yeah.
Really?
Who didn't say no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the
Apparently
downfall of
4
all good bands.
overly aged men.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, this sounds great.
That is quite literally the downfall of so many bands is when they get to the point where
Someone
they're
needs to tell
surrounded
them
by
no.
yes people. It's like, hey, I know that based on your history, you think that you are like more than competent,
Indestructible?
capable, and yes, even indestructible. Tonight, actually,
It's like Ariana Grande, to be honest.
yeah, it's too many yes people
Tell her
saying
no.
yes. Tell her no.
Tell her to put out a single and call it a day.
Yeah, you don't need to just keep dropping
I
everything.
don't know about this.
You don't
I'll
need
tune
to
in.
have an album full of songs just to have an album full of songs. You can put out quality work and have
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
to tell you, hey, maybe this isn't what you should be
Like a
putting
good-
into the world.
Like a good producer being like, "That's fine. What else do you have?"
yeah.
Like this is competent, but it's not it. What is it for you? Bring it. Bring that, and let's do that. You know,
Because Ariana Grande and Rancid go hand in hand.
they do. They're kind of
Has she
synonymous.
gotten into a bad relationship recently and then broke it off? Because I feel like that's what they
No,
have in common.
Sick. Do you guys want to do discards? What was on the list? Well, what did you have that didn't make the list?
Ruby Soho and Roots Radical.
Yeah, Ruby Soho and Roots Radical for sure.
Oh my god.
What other? Do you guys not like those songs?
I love those songs. They're great songs.
They're fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love them.
they exist.
they're just the overplayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
But see, I never listened to Rancid to begin with, so
Yeah.
here I am.
Yeah, that's true.
And somebody listened to all of them on Spotify. So Spotify?
I love Spotify.
Spotify.
The old
Oh,
Spotify.
Spotify. Ooh.
Were those the only two, Shelby?
No, I honestly, so I just kind of went through and added the songs as I was listening, so it's a little bit
Yeah.
messy. But a couple of
yeah.
songs that I will say that I just really like in general that didn't make the list. Oh my God, where did it go? Oh, I'm panicking. I crack under pressure. I had Fall Back Down, and I also had Radio. So
Radio's good.
I'm just like your standard person, you know? Just
It's
standard.
a
Fine,
good song.
Shelby. Radio was number 3 on my list.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
okay,
I
so there's
absolutely
still some
adore that
synergy
song.
there.
If you give me a guitar and and you're gonna notice it from now on, I instinctively play the intro to Radio on it first thing. I
I've
play
never
D
noticed
B
that.
G D instantly because it's like a muscle memory because I used to play that song so much.
It's a great song.
a
And
good
it
song.
arguably maybe should have been on this list, but
Yeah.
it's our list, so that's what it
It's
is.
and at the end of the day, and I will say this with a big italicized beat, it is unfortunately our cross to bear, as they say.
Yeah.
As the keepers of the canon, we made our choices, and this is just it. This is
the ultimate
list.
gatekeepers.
The ultimate gatekeepers. Oh my gosh, Kendra, what was on your list that didn't make the list?
Off Wolves, I had Old Friend, Lock, Step,
yeah.
and Gone, 11th Hour. I also had Leicester Square from Life Won't Wait, which Jake will fucking freak out about. And I also had I Wanna Riot, one of their B-sides.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I put that at 11.
Yeah.
I figured if I put on like a deep cut, I'm like, maybe I'm cool.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
That me
I
making my
remember,
list every episode.
So like my Rancid friend was our mutual friend Kate,
Who was your
right?
rancid friend?
Like we would sit on the bus and listen to Rancid
Really,
together,
his
and we used to
name is
listen to that song
Lars?
all the time. That
Kate
song was phenomenal.
Is such a Rancid girl. That's cute. I love that.
Yeah, it's good. What about you, Jake? I'm not the host. I'm sorry.
No, by all means.
take the fucking reins.
So I had
dude. I love it.
Nihilism. That didn't make the list. That was pretty high on my list because
Okay.
I like that song a lot. And then I had Journey to the End of East Bay. Great
I
song.
love
I
that
don't
song.
Like that song.
You
Yeah.
know?
Not really.
I love that song.
I mean, I don't
It's
dislike it.
crazy.
It's just
I
not a
used to-
song that I'm like,
One-
I like that song.
One of my old bands was from Benicia, and whenever I'd have band practice, I lived in San Francisco and I didn't have a car, so I'd have to take Bart with my cymbals and like some of my hardware,
Ooh.
and so I'd have to take the Pittsburgh train all the way up to North Concord, which is almost the
Ooh.
end of the
Yeah.
East Bay Line Pittsburgh train. And so whenever I did, it was always like this song would always come to mind.
That's rough.
So like
know,
it's
it's
a
crazy.
45-minute journey, and you just play it over and
Yeah.
over and over.
Always, yeah.
And I should say, I don't
Then I
dislike
had,
that song. Every song I don't like doesn't mean I dislike it.
No, I know.
Don't judge me.
Yeah, of course.
It's
I'm
listening.
Too late.
I know.
Judged.
Then I had Old Friend and Radio. That didn't make the list.
Old
Radio
Friends
was
are
my
a
number
good song.
3.
Radio and Old Friend are both such good songs.
Very
Old,
good.
Yeah,
Old
they're really good.
Friend, are you kidding me?
That's
can't
why
be
I
back
couldn't
in no
decide
friend.
between that and
No.
Antennas, because I was
Oh.
like, Antennas is so fucking solid, but Old Friend has gotten me through some shit.
Can one
Like,
of you
it is an
Rancid
old
heads tell
friend.
me what Old Friend is about? You guys know the history, right? Some of you do?
I don't.
No? I feel like I'm going to figure
No.
it out. Stay tuned, guys.
So the main lyric is "Good morning, heartache. You're like an old friend. Come and see me again."
Right.
And so basically, as Tim describes his lyrical journey, from what I can tell, and maybe I'm fucking wrong completely, he's out on tour. He goes to Cleveland. He ends up meeting someone, and then they have to like break it up, and so he's like heartbroken over it.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Maybe that's wrong. I
Hmm.
don't know. Maybe it's not like pigeons. I don't know. Whatever. But like, goodbye.
Also
old
would not be
friend.
Yeah.
surprising.
Oh my gosh, how does everybody feel?
I feel good.
You feel good?
I feel good with the way it ended up.
Did I get vetoed
The fact that
this episode?
Antennas and Poison both
No.
made the list is a win for me.
Is that an achievement? Is this a first? Shelby didn't get vetoed.
I didn't get vetoed this time, guys.
That's a
Whoa.
first.
For the
That's
Rancid
never-
episode.
That's literally never happened.
That's literally never happened.
How do you feel,
Yeah.
Shelby?
That's crazy.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Shooked.
Shaken?
I feel like I've had marbles in my mouth this entire episode. It's been very hard for me.
I was wondering
Um,
why you did that.
Yeah.
I was like, what a choice.
Why is she spitting marbles?
Why
I
does
don't
she have
know.
marbles in her mouth? That makes no sense.
Did you think that they were boba?
Yeah, I was like, did she get boba? I don't understand
Yeah.
what's happening here.
Yeah. It's just that I wear headphones
It's-
all day at work and it squeezes my stupid smooth brain.
Oh, gotcha.
You were
my
just
brain
trying
is
to do
very
your
smooth.
best. you just had the marbles in your mouth because you wanted to sound like Tim Armstrong.
Truly.
Right.
Yeah.
Truly.
You were doing your
That's
best, Tim.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Every moment I said I'm not explaining myself, it's because I physically
Is
couldn't.
that? Well, y'all, this was the Lousy Advice Podcast. Kendra, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
Would you like to plug anything?
Yeah, is there anything you want to plug?
Oh God, I have so many things to plug. I'm just like super busy. Oh no. Okay. Let's see. I run a website called Bad Copy. You can find us at thebadcopy.com on the internet. I also do PR for bands. So if you're looking to put out an album or an EP or even just need a little bit of help, hi. I'm your girl. I'm happy to help you. I work with my partner Regan. We work on it together. And what else do I do? Bad Copy's having, we're putting together a column called Helter Skelter, Helter Shelter. It's actually going to be about COVID. And so we're going to check in on bands and help out venues and kind of check in with where they are with their GoFundMes and all of that, and any small businesses. So if anyone has any recommendations of small businesses or venues in their town that need a spotlight, find me on Facebook and let me know, because we'd love to help out every venue, small business, everything we possibly can, because everyone's kind of struggling right now with what's going on.
Also, and sometimes I write for Bad Copy.
Yeah, Shelby
and
does.
I've never mentioned that on this podcast.
You haven't.
And that's
Yeah, I don't think you have.
Shelby's an official writer for Bad Copy. That is true.
Quote unquote. Support
And she's
Kendra.
good.
Support Kendra.
This was a joy and a treat and a dream, and what a wonderful time. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to this, we're Lousy Advice the band, and
We're a
this
band.
is our band podcast called the Lousy Advice Podcast. If you want to rate us 5 stars, leave a review, give us some good vibes, as they say, go check us out on the nostalgianetwork.com. Honestly, just FRS up. You know what I mean? Just like go into it. Thank you for listening. Is that it?
I think it's it.
Okay. Signing off. We're Lousy Advice. Okay, I'm going to stop recording. Bye, 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 bye. This podcast has been brought to you by the Nostalgia Network.
Visit thenostalgianetwork.com for more.